So then guys, Wolves drew 0-0 away at Leicester in our first match of the season. There were moments to remember, there were moments to forget, and most importantly, there were moments to talk about. So let's get started. First of all guys, I know you've probably all heard this, but Wolves were so close yet so far away. I'm sorry, I just had to say that. I know you've all probably heard it about 100 times already, but it just had to be said. Before we start talking about the VAR decision now, let's talk about the match itself. Wolves started off the first 10 minutes quite well, to be honest, but then Leicester soon picked up their game and Leicester dominated a lot of the ball for the entirety of the match. The reason for this is probably because Wolves have been playing European games, and you can see slowly but surely it's starting to catch up a little bit, which I hope won't be a factor for the rest of the season, but I can see it being one. However, at half-time, Nuno definitely said something to the players because Wolves came out, instantly had a shot on target, started creating more, and one man who stood out for the entire match and for the full 70-some minutes he was on was Diogo Jota. Diogo Jota completely troubled the Leicester defence. He did fall over the ball at one time, being one moment to forget, but he also did cause a lot of trouble. He beat 2-3 players in one goal, causing chances, creating chances, and that's what Diogo Jota is fantastic at. For Leicester guys, it's their first main game without Harry Maguire, and I've got to say a 0-0 draw for them is definitely happy. It's definitely happy for Wolves, it's definitely happy for them. In the second half, I do have to say that they definitely created more chances. They definitely put us under the cosh a lot. And right at the end, they definitely, after the VAR decision especially, carried on making the Wolves fans nervous. That's the best way to put it. They created chances. Patricio was forced into a few saves. But apart from that, I think it was a well-earned 0-0 draw for both teams. Now guys, let's talk about the elephant in the room. That is the VAR decision. Now it sounded like it was just a ping-pong machine basically. Ball crossed in, loads of bodies everywhere. It's one of those close ones. Then Donker bangs it in, 1-0. There you go, Wolves are winning. Last season, we could have gone on to win the match 1-0. However, this season VAR kicked in, and yesterday it showed some decisions being made, and that carried on today. Now guys, as you can see on the screen right now, the Premier League did treat out this, saying that basically whether a handball is intentional or unintentional, if it leads to a goal, it will be disallowed. It doesn't matter whether it's intentional or unintentional, it will be disallowed in the Premier League because of the new laws under the game. As you can see, that is what the Premier League treated out after the Wolves v Leicester VAR. Now with that all being said guys, I do have a few issues with it. Now I am a Wolves fan, as all of you probably know, and yes, it was against Wolves, but my problem isn't the fact that it was against Wolves. There are two problems I have. The first problem is that rule says if it's intentional or unintentional, the attacking team's goal, if it leads to a goal, the goal will be disallowed. So it's fair across all teams, but I think it's unfair that defenders, like you look at the Aston Villa match yesterday, it was unintentional, hit his hand, and the VAR did not give it. However, VAR also did overturn this goal because of that, which I do sort of agree with, because by the rules, they've done what they've had to do. However, first of all, VAR is used for obvious and clear mistakes. And if it's an unintentional handball and he just bends up and hits his hand and his hand's by his side, that is not a clear mistake. It's not a clear mistake from the referee, it's not a clear mistake from the linesman. So should VAR be used for that? Yes, VAR are there to implement the rules, but they are there to rectify any clear mistakes from a referee or linesman, and that is not a clear mistake. So that's my opinion guys. Second of all, I've got to say that I do think it's unfair how some of the rules are definitely just against attackers. Now I know some of you will say yeah, but like the offside rule is going to be against attackers, but my problem is that you're not letting attackers be human beings. You're basically saying to them, if you're running next to a defender and from not even a yard away just blasts it up at you and it hits the top of your arm, it's handball, you know, there you go. If it bounces off you and then goes in, that's instantly handball, you know. And I think it's taking it out of football. That is definitely taking it out of football. Surely there's got to be some leeway. If that says you look at another rule from the FA in the handball rule itself, it says if they make their body bigger, do anything like that, or it's in a unnatural position, then yeah, it's against it. And that isn't always going to be as obvious as other cases, but I think that's more looking at players as human beings than robots, you know, what they want strikers to do, run with their arms behind their back. In all honesty, guys, it did really frustrate me at first. I did get a bit frustrated that that goal was disallowed, but looking back, the rules are there and that is following the rules, so I can't have any complaints about that. If it happened to Leicester, I'd have to be exactly the same. I would still be upset that he got disallowed. Well, I'd actually be happy that he got disallowed because at least my team rules would have got a 0-0 draw, but I'd still say it was harsh, and this is harsh. I think the rules just need to be made a lot clearer, and the rules have to go across the entire team. It's not worth saying like an unintentional handball from a striker and leads to a goal. Oh, no, we've got to disallow that. But yet defenders are also allowed to make unintentional handballs. Yes, I know what you're all going to say. If it was for defenders as well, there'd be about 1,000 penalties a match, which there would be, so I'm glad that's not the rule. But, you know, if that's also like saying that if a striker goes in for a 50-50 challenge and misses it, he deserves a yellow card. But if a defender does it, he deserves a warning. You know, it's a bit unfair. You've got to give each player the same responsibilities, the same rules. You've got to make it fair across the entire game for all clubs and for all players and for all positions. You can't allow one rule for one and one for another. And I do think defenders get a little bit of an advantage out of this now because they know that they can just blast the ball, and if it's intentional or unintentional, if it leads to a goal, they're going to be let off the hook. They know it, and I do think it's really unfair, and I do think for this season it's manageable, but it's still going to frustrate a lot of people, a lot of fans, and it definitely has to change. All I'm saying, guys, is that I think we've got to treat footballers as humans, basically. That, you know, if a defender makes a pass back and it goes under the keeper, it's a goal. A lot of people will argue that it's a fair rule, and that's their opinion, but if a striker shoots the ball and the defender unintentionally handballs it, blocks it and then clears it, you'll say, well, it didn't give them either team an advantage. But you don't know if that ball's going to go for the goalkeeper's hands, legs, whatever. We've seen it before. Goalkeepers can easily make mistakes, and, you know, that could be an advantage to the defence, but you'll never know. So it could actually be an advantage, and that's why I think we've got to come up with rules that are fair across the board. Anyway, guys, moving on to my Wanderer of the Week. Really, Bolly was superb in defence. Jota was superb in attack. Which one am I going to give it to? I'm going to give it to Bolly. I think Bolly, even though Jota played fantastically well, Bolly did a lot of the hard work. He defensively was solid. He cleared some good chances and some crucial chances at times for us and kept us 0-0. So for that reason, I'm giving man of the match to Big Willy Bolly. Anyway, guys, that's my video today. Hope you enjoyed it. If you're new, hit the like button and subscribe button. If you like the video, hit the like button. Let me know in the comment section your guys' opinions on the VAR decision, a 0-0 draw. And let me know if you agree with what I said, if you disagree. Remember, this is just my opinion. It's not gospel truth, you know. So just let me know in the comment section and I'll speak to you guys later.